Hey Trevor, so I'm looking over your project. It looks like there's some. I'm getting concerned because there. It seems like there's some basic stuff that you should be able to do that I'm not seeing here. Like getting your program to compile, and I don't know if it's just you started working on it, you decided you didn't want to go any further, or but from now on, you really need to get your stuff to compile before you send it to me. And if that's a problem, then we need to talk about that because that's something you should be able to do by now. But so let me just show you when I hit compile, I get this error: cannot find symbol variable field name. And if I hit the question mark, it says you are using a symbol here. So cannot find symbol variable field name. You are using a symbol here, a name for a variable, a method, or a class that has not been declared in any visible scope. Check the spelling of that name. Did you mistype it, or did you forget to declare it? Or maybe you did declare it, but it is not visible from here. Okay, so let's talk about that. You have this variable field name. Now, there's different ways you can declare a variable, right? You could say, well, I don't know what kind of a field you want, but let's say it's an item that you want to take. So you could declare it here, right? You could say item field name, or you could declare it. It could be part of your it could be an input parameter. Oops, gotta spell it the same way, right? That's another way you could do it. Or you could declare it as an instance variable. Up here at the beginning of your class, you could say private item field name. Either one of those, any one of those would give you a valid field name. But you also have another variable that you haven't declared, which is this items variable. And that's another one. Like I said, you can declare it locally, you can declare it as a parameter, or you can declare it up here. There's a bigger issue here, though, and that is, do we want to be storing the list of items in the game object? It seems more logical that the player should be holding whatever items belong to the player. So really, this whole thing about taking an item or picking up an item, I would pass that on to the player class. So let's look at the player class for a second. And I see you chose to name it person class. That's fine. So we want something that okay. So you have you created an add item. You have an add item method in here. Let's see. So to take an item, what we want is well, let's start with this. So let's say we want to use this add item here, okay, and stick the item into our item array. Okay, so yeah, oh wait, a hash set. Okay, so you have this hash set item, and you're gonna add it that way. Okay, so so then person has a has a method for adding items. So let's go back to game for a second. So what we could do for take here is ask the person to add that item, right? So how would we go about that? Well, let's see. Well, what we could do is let's see, what did we create a player object? So we have a person Tom, and what do we do with Tom? Okay, so we use Tom and create a new person named Tom. And do we call create player any place? Let's see. Okay, no. Okay, so it's not enough just to define a method. If you want the method to be executed, you have to call it. Okay, so let's create the player, right? And then down here, where we say take, now there's something that we want to take, right? So you just have to look over here where you have go back, or wait, is that the one I wanted to look at? No, not go back. Something that has a second word. So here, if you look at go room, it says if it doesn't have a second word, say go where, otherwise. So you want to do something like that with take, right? Because you're taking something. So I'm just gonna, let me copy some of this stuff here. Wait, let me see what you got so far. So you got, yeah, if command has second word, then we want to get that second word, right? So if it has the second word, then we want to get that second word. We want to say string. String. Here's where we can declare field name. We can say string field name equals command second word. So then if it has a second word, then you get that second word, and now you can add that second word. But what we'll do is we'll have the player add it. We'll add it to the hash set that belongs to the player. So we can say, so Tom is the name of your player, and the name of the method for adding that field name is add item. So we can say add item. Let's see, and see now that compiled. Okay. So that'll get you started. So that should give you an idea of what to do to get this drop to compile. So go ahead and get everything to compile, and then send it to me. If you still have trouble with getting it to compile, let me know. But you should at least be able to get this drop method to compile, and then if any other problems come up, shoot me another email and we'll take care of it.